Welcome back to Eddie's Launchpads.
We've been cleared for departure.
Okay, Eddie, start the countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Stand by for action.
Yes, welcome back to Eddie's Launchpads. It's a Dogsthorpe Infant School podcast for parents, teachers and schools. Wherever you're listening, in Peterborough, or if you're listening around the world, welcome. Thank you for choosing us today. We are so grateful that you come and you listen to our shows. Our listenership has gone up. It's amazing. And that connects with our website, which is dogsthorpeinfants.co.uk, all one word, dogsthorpeinfants.co.uk. If you wanted to get in touch with us, if you're unsure about something you hear on the shows, get in touch with us and we'll always reply to you. We want to keep the communication going between our listenership and our school and the people who come on to our show. Now, Christmas is approaching fast, and all of you grandparents and parents who are thinking, what can I get that's maybe not the usual toy, or maybe you're thinking of something that's a nice little stocking filler that could go into the bottom, into the toe end of the stocking, whatever you want to do with your child. Wouldn't it be nice to actually grow something with the child? I know some grandparents go out into the greenhouse, for example, and they plant seeds, and you might plant something in the garden and watch it grow with your child. Maybe you do that already. Well, here's something really, really exciting as we present back to you a dear friend to Eddie's Launchpads. It's Richard Fenwick from Plantlet Culture. Welcome to the show, Richard.
Good morning, Dave. Good to be back. I think it's been about a year.
It has indeed been about a year. Yeah, I think you came on just before Christmas last year. Now, you've got some new products for us, but just to remind our old listeners and for the listeners who've joined us since last year, can you share a little bit about your business, Plantlet Culture?
Oh, I can. Yeah, we specialise in micropropagation tissue culture, saving rare plant species or launching new plant varieties to market. Half my business is commercial like that. The other half is education. So we show students how to grow a plant in a test tube, and the kits we sell on Etsy allow people to have a go in their own home. And I think since we last spoke, our range has grown, and there's lots of different options of kit sizes. But the purpose of the kit is so you can germinate often a pea plant in gel rather than soil or compost, and that allows you to see all the roots, growth, see the stem, see the leaves. Germination is very quick. It's normally in 48 hours, and the students can measure their growth. There's a little growing scale on the side of the tube, and they just watch it, monitor it, and then when it gets too big for the tube, you can plant it outside.
Now, we've used this, folks, in our school, and we loved it. We absolutely loved it. And the great thing about what Richard offers, he also offers class materials, so you get your lesson plans. This is for Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2. So if you've got a junior school and an infant school, or maybe you're all one big primary school, there's something here for you and for your class. And if you're a teacher and you'd like to have a look at what they offer, then go over to their website. We'll give you all the details about that. But the great thing also about your products, Richard, is that they can actually be purchased by the parents and the grandparents and the family at home, can't they?
Yes, yeah. I would say for last year, our biggest seller has been party favours. And we started offering pre-washed seeds, so without all the equipment, but people wanted to see how the plant grow, and so I started offering the pre-washed seeds, and it kind of grew from there. People were ordering more, and then one day I asked one of our customers, why do you need more? And it turned out they were offering them as party favors and just an alternative to sweets. And so our range grew, and we offered party favors. And and just recently we've added glow in the dark gel. That's a bit of a novelty. It links in with Halloween we've got coming up, but it's a novelty. But it gives people the option to see different gels and how peas perform in different substrates.
Interesting, really interesting. And the great thing is that parents and grandparents and family members, they're always looking at ways in which they can do things with their children, and rather than just stick them in front of a tablet, here is something that they can go back to after a few days and see if there's what progress has been made, how it's changed.
Oh yeah, you get after 48 hours it germinates, and then it grows quickly. Once the roots have access to the gel, you get some really quick growth, and it changes daily, like you say. The growing scale allows you to measure the growth and all the changes. Peas are really robust as well, so when it's hit the top of the lid of the test tube, if you're not quite ready to plant it out, you can leave it in the tube, and it's quite happy for another 6 or 8 weeks in the tube. You don't need to water it. The gel will take care of it. One customer sent me a photo where they had removed the lid, and it grew about 10 centimeters above the test tube. Even started to have tendrils for the
wow.
And at that point, if you remove the lid, then that's when you have to add a small amount of water, 5 ml of water every couple of days, just to help it along a little bit. Otherwise the gel will shrink. But they're very robust. You can keep them. So perhaps, if you're doing an activity for half term, which is coming up, or their Christmas presents, you could do the germination in January, keep the plant in the test tube until we hit March, and then plant it out. But peas are very robust. They can take frost. So
right. Yeah.
There's no real worry about it. And then what I didn't want to do was fill the world with single-use plastic. So once you've planted your pea, the test tube can be washed, and then we have 10 activity sheets produced by a maze lab, and there are 10 science experiments you can do. So potentially your little plastic tube can give you 10, 11 different experiments before you recycle it.
Incredible.
So, and there you can buy the activity sheets when you buy the kits. And you touched on the lesson plans for teachers. Well, they're free to download off our website. Because I've taught in colleges myself. I know time can be very precious when you're delivering lectures. So I kind of thought, even if teachers don't use the full lesson plan, it gives them a starting point.
Wow. Well, we could take this off into, and we are indeed going to take this off into different areas. Let's park the favours, because that sounds like a really interesting avenue that we can explore with you, because that sounds really exciting in all sorts of ways. We're always holding parties, aren't we? And whether that's a wedding, whether that's a religious situation, maybe it's a celebration in the family, whatever it is, here's something that you can do, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm thinking of Christmas Day. Often, if they are giving us Christmas presents, they're taken out and they're unwrapped, and they're the great thing about your products, so they're very, very colourful. And that's why I wanted to know that what happens if the granddad, can we open it? Can we do it now? If they did it over Christmas, it would be okay.
Oh, perfect. But the kits themselves have a shelf life of a year, so if they didn't do it straight away, there's no worries. But if they wanted to have a go straight away on Christmas Day, no problem. By the end of December, yes, it's grown to a full size of the test tube. But then I would keep it. I would keep it maybe for a month or 6 weeks, just on a windowsill. You could take the lid off if you wanted to, and then you'd have to add water, but you could do that. And then you could just plant it when you think spring has arrived. But honestly, peas they can go down into the minus numbers. And sometimes when we do send, just touching party favours a little bit more, when we send party favours, if they've germinated too quickly and the party is, let's say, another 2-3 days, we suggest to the customer, just pop them in the fridge, and that'll just slow the growth down. Peas can stand it. So honestly, that's why I pick peas. Some of our kits come with sunflowers, but they're very quick. They are 48 hours, and then by day 7, because you want a straight stem, you've kind of got to get them out the tube at that point, because you want a nice straight stem, and you're going for a tallest sunflower, and so I would say peas have the advantage over sunflowers for that reason only. But yeah. And you compare traditional growing for sunflowers especially, and in compost or soil, you're talking probably 14-28 days germination in normal compost. You compare that to 48 hours in gel, it's a lot quicker.
So can we talk prices now? If a teacher's listening and they want to get a set for their class, what sort of ballpark figure, what sort of pricing are we talking about?
That's quite a difficult question to answer, because I've got so many different kits. It really depends on pack sizes and equipment. Some teachers, they use the party favours because it's all washed, it's done. They hand them out, say, just at the end of term, as the students are going on half term, for something for them to look at over the break, and then return and then compare. Other classes, they have the full kit with the tweezers and the soap to wash the seeds. So it's one of those unknown questions, really, what people are after. All I would say is our full range is on our Etsy shop. Have a look. A lot of the kits, I'm still able to include the postage, so the price you see is what you pay, and there's no surprises when you're checking out. But no, that's probably the easiest thing, because there's such a range.
Yeah, well, go on to the website, folks, and onto the Etsy shop. We'll give you all the links. If you double click on this podcast, it'll open up to 2 links, and that'll link straight into the shop and to the website, and then you can see everything that we're talking about. For people who are thinking about having it as a maybe for their wedding as a favour, what sort of pricing would that be for a favour, for example?
For favour, it often comes down to a couple of pound, but like I say, people buy favours in groups of, say, 10. Our most popular one is 15, then we do 20, 25. So it's all graduated.
And the price comes down, does it?
Oh, yeah. The more, just like anything in life, the more you buy, the more cost effective they are. And that's just the way it goes, really. But all I would sort of highlight is because they grow so quickly, you probably want to be ordering maybe 10, 14 days before your event, because we have them in stock all the time. We can pop them in the post. Then you'll have them before the event, but they're not growing too quickly, so people still have that opportunity to watch them grow. And like I say, you've always got that option of popping them in the fridge if need be.
Yeah, that sounds really, really good. And you've got something here, folks. Wherever you're listening, whether you're a parent or whether you're a teacher or whether you're somebody who's planning a future event and you're going to have a party for whatever reason, here's something that you can do. And for all you parents who thinking, it's going to £2 or £3, and then it might be over by the end of Christmas. Well, I'm sure you're going to be buying things over your celebration, whatever you celebrate around the world. You're going to buy something for your child that's going to cost more than £2 or £3, and it's not going to last. They're going to step on it, or it's going to tumble down the stairs or whatever, and it's gone. So here's something that you can do with your child. That's the great thing about this. Richard, what you got planned for the future? Have you got? I mean, it sounds like you've got a lot on your plate straight away. But are you always looking for new products?
I'm always looking on new takes of the kit. Can we improve it? Any innovations we can do? I suppose feedback from our customers is always good. I very rarely get questions, so I know I'm happy with the instructions which are included. But they're clear. But yeah, there's always things. I've got a few projects in the pipeline. But of course, I like to test and retest and make sure that the kits work, and before I launch anything new. I've had a request from a teacher where they wanted me to change the cytokinins and auxin hormone levels in the gel, so the students can watch how cytokinins and auxins behave, which may become a kit. I'll design it for this particular school for their students, and they've said they'll send me some photos of the feedback, how the students got on. But potentially, yeah, cytokinins could affect the top growth for stems. So you might get a multi-stemmed, like 3, 4, 5 growing points on a pea compared to normal. And then if you tweak the auxins, that tends to promote more root growth. So you could have more branching of roots. So I'm always looking for those types of things. Can it support education? And could it also be, yes, perhaps a new product we launch? But it does take longer than what you think to retest. Because what I don't want is to launch anything where it doesn't work. That's not what I want.
No.
But yeah, I've got some interesting things in the pipeline. And yeah, on the commercial side, we're very busy. We've got some conservation projects. So I'm helping to save juniper at the moment. I think we might have touched on this last time.
Yes, you did, yeah.
So mainly for gin production, because if you don't have juniper berries, you can't produce gin.
Yeah.
So, and if you're a gin distillery in the UK, you're buying your berry in from other countries. So it's really important to save the species and also help with one of those industries. So I've got that. A lot of my commercial work, I sign non-disclosure agreements. So a lot of the things I do on that side, I'm not allowed to.
Quite.
Discuss.
No. Exciting. Sounds very exciting, folks, doesn't it? Eh?
But especially, for new plant varieties, if you find something in your garden and it's gone variegated, or it's got some different characteristics that your normal plant doesn't have, that potentially could be a new plant variety. So.
Absolutely, and such a fascinating area of science. I was born and brought up on a Kent farm, and a little bit further away from me, down near Ashford, which was a few miles away from where we farmed, was an experimental apple orchard, and it was where Braeborn apples and pears, they all that Braeborn family, because it was a Braeborn family. They would experiment by putting one tree with another tree to get another fruit. And it's and I as a young boy, I was fascinated how they made the little slits in the wood and put them all in, and then and you have to go a certain way and a certain distance, and then these two trees would actually grow together and produce a different type of fruit. Absolutely incredible. So I'm with you and what the work you do, my dear friend.
Oh, thank you. No, it is fascinating. I have an apple tree at home where it's been grafted, and there's 5 varieties of apple on one tree.
There you go, folks.
And they all pollinate it. It's very, very clever. I haven't done it. I bought it. But it's very clever how they've got varieties to grow with each other, and they all pollinate each other. And on that, over those 5 varieties, there's a cucker, there's an eater. It's amazing. I've got 3 trees. One's a plum, pear, and apple. So out of 3 trees, I have about 15 varieties of fruit.
Well, there we go. You see,
it's very clever.
Very, very clever. And whilst we're talking about, and there's no I don't want to be, not a play on pun, I'm not trying to be punnish when I say this, but the STEM is important in our schools, science, technology, engineering and maths, and we're always pushing that at our school at Dogsthorpe Infants. It's very, very important, and it's great that you've involved a Maze Lab, and a Maze Lab are helping you. They're dear friends to our show as well. They've been on the show 2 or 3 times, and they've shared what they do, and incredible work. So there's all sorts of things that you can do, listeners, when you buy these kits. It's not just let's just see if it grows. There's all sorts of experiments that you can do. It's incredible the work that you're doing, Richard.
Thank you. I've been a STEM ambassador for over 20 years now. And yes, I suppose before COVID, we used to go into schools a lot and do the activities. And then since all that's happened, we'd have to rely on the kits now to go out and do that work for us, really. But working with a Maze Lab is amazing. There's a fun on words for you.
Yeah.
So, and they very kindly, in the early days, they looked and they developed these activity sheets, and they work very well side by side with the kit.
The people where they work, which is up near Barnsley, isn't it? All where they work, the incredible work that they do. If only every area could have a Maze Lab. Our children would be much better off. But a Maze Lab, you keep doing what you're doing, folks, because you're doing some fantastic work, and thank you for all you do. So, if people want to get in touch with you, Richard, I'm guessing the website, which is
plantnutculture.com.
Right. And if they want your Etsy shop, is there a link that you could let us have that I can include on the podcast?
I can. The links are on our website, or if you put Plant Nut Culture in the search part of Etsy, it will come up. And you should be able to find us really easily. The colours are linked to our logo. So our standard gel colours are green, red, yellow, blue, and that links to our logo. So you'll know you're on the right site once you see those colours.
Well, there we go, folks. One last question. And I'm guessing that some of our listeners may be wanting to ask this, and if I don't ask it, they'll be sending me a message saying, ask him. You can cope with people sending you in requests for Christmas presents, so that's no problem. But what happens if somebody is planning a celebration, whatever that may be, anniversary or wedding or whatever, and they might want 100 or 150? Can you still cope with that order?
Oh, we can cope with that. That would be a custom order. So just drop me a message through Etsy or via the email, and we will certainly do our best to help. And if you're thinking Christmas presents, some of the kits have wrapping facilities. So if it's a distant present you want to send and we can send it direct, we can do. Knowing that it's wrapped and there's a message on the tag, we can always do that for people if you wish. Not all the kits have that facility, but some do. So just look out. There's a blue logo which says wrapping available on the kit, and that sort of says we can do that for you. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Well, as always, mate, if you do eventually get a new product, don't forget us. Come back onto the Launchpad and we'll help you launch it.
I will. It's very exciting. The Side-Scan Nordson product. I think that could be something new, different. And yeah, certainly when I'm happy, that results are good. I'll let you know. Yeah.
Great. Well, folks, there we are. Here's another product that you could think when you're thinking about your celebrations that are coming up. Here's something from Richard from Plant-Let Culture. Double click on this podcast, find the website and find the Etsy shop, and you'll be away.
Well, that's all for this week, folks. So until Eddie and Captain Dave take another flight of learning on the Launchpad, every day, in every way, be ready, be safe, be respectful, and never forget to dream, believe, and shine. Eddie's Launchpads is an EdStar production for Dogsthorpe Infant School.